In a corner of the world where spring arrives with blossoms and butter, where weekends are for farmers' markets, long lunches, and muddy boots in the garden, there's a quiet reminder: life isn't meant to be rushed. This isn't about escaping real life, it's about choosing it. So come and spend a weekend in Normandy with us, and maybe find a little inspiration to make space for what truly matters. Hello and welcome to Living Well in France. And a big warm bonjour to all the new subscribers. I'm so happy that you're here. This week I wanted to share something simple and close to my heart. A typical weekend here in Normandy with my French family. Whether you're dreaming of moving to France someday, or simply love soaking in the little moments of French culture and countryside life, I hope this video brings a bit of calm and inspiration to your day. Saturday mornings always begin early for us because my daughter has her riding lesson. We're up with the sun and it's usually a very busy day for us. While I'm waiting, I often take our dog Max for a walk along one of the country lanes nearby. Unfortunately, there's not an awful lot of walking that gets done. He likes to plant his nose deep into the grass about every 10 steps. There seem to be too many fascinating things going on in there, and we don't really get very far usually. We did discover this technique though for getting him some exercise. There's nothing better than a swing ball in the garden. He could play with this, I think, all day long, non-stop, if we let him. For lunch we often pick something up from the local bakery and then regret it. But hey, we're going to burn it off in the afternoon, so why not? We like to take a walk sometimes around our local park, which is called La Colline aux Oiseaux, and used to be a giant landfill site. And it was converted into this beautiful public park which was opened in June 1994, coinciding with the 50th anniversary of the D-Day landings. The old heaps of waste used to attract lots of birds, particularly gulls and crows, which led to the locals calling it the Colline aux Oiseaux, which has stuck ever since. Here in France we often grumble about our high taxes, but it's places like this that remind us what those contributions make possible. Beautiful, peaceful spaces, open to all, free of charge, are a reflection of our shared investment in a more beautiful way of life. On Saturday afternoon I popped by to visit my husband and his friends who are currently working on renovating a very ancient studio apartment. Bonjour. Oui, et toi? Oh le bordel, mon Dieu. Bonjour. There were some nasty surprises in the wood in the beams. They've basically had to start from scratch, rip everything out and replace things with new materials. Let me know if you'd like to see more of this process. I've been filming the whole thing, and if you're interested, I'd be happy to share it in a full video once it's finished. Here's what we discovered after we had removed the ceiling. Some very unhealthy looking wood. Not good news. Still, my husband and his friends are excellent bricoleurs, DIY men, and so I have every confidence that they'll know what to do to make it up to scratch very soon. After a well-deserved coffee break, we headed back home. and we got started on a home DIY project. I had stripped this old table down and varnished it with a blanc cerusé or white ceruse varnish. And over the years I'd applied coat after coat when needed, and it had become sticky to the touch with time and dull. We thought we could just directly sand the varnish off, but in the end we needed to apply a paint stripper, and then it just was so much easier. Apparently I was killing the electric sander by pressing too hard. There's a technique to everything. In the end, I gave up and let the expert do it. Chacun son boulot. I did help out with the final sanding once my husband had got all the varnish removed, and it was actually a really satisfying job, he said. Whenever possible, we like to upcycle what we already own rather than going out and buying something new. Not only does it save us quite a lot of money over the years, but it definitely gives us a lot more satisfaction when we're sitting in a home that we've put so much work into. The day ended with a quick dip in our Blowup jacuzzi, the best thing we ever bought. Sunday morning was a much slower start, thank goodness. And we met our friends at our local bakery again for brunch this time. This place is called L'Ami Paulette and has everything you could ever want and lots of nice places to sit and enjoy it. Then we headed to a local vide-grenier and had a browse around. One of my favourite things to do on a Sunday. If I manage to pick up a bargain or two at a vide-grenier, it basically makes my day, and this one was no exception. I found some really nice clothes which I went home and washed straight away. Voici des plantes. On our way home, we stopped off briefly at the Abbey Saint-Étienne to watch the Sunday service and film some of it for you for the upcoming video I'm putting together on how Catholicism has influenced French culture over the years. These were some of the clothes that I managed to find at the vide-grenier, and I'm more than a little bit excited about this onesie that I found from Naf Naf. And the jumper on the left is made in France, 100% wool, €10. Fantastic. On a Sunday afternoon, we sometimes like to have either some family or friends over for a goûter, and this time I decided to make a peach cake. It's really delicious and summery and also very easy to make. So here's the recipe for this quick and easy cake. You're going to need 180 grams of self-raising flour, 170 grams of unsalted butter, 150 grams of granulated sugar, 2 large eggs, a couple of small pots of yogurt or one large one, just plain yogurt, pinch of salt, and if you can get some ripe peaches, fantastic, but I've got these tin ones which are just as great and much quicker. And I keep them handy for when I need to quickly throw together a cake. I've enjoyed making all kinds of different cakes over the years. Lemon cake, banana cake, carrot cake, and the classic fruit cake. But this one, taught to me by my French mother-in-law, has to be my favourite because it's so light and fresh and, above all, simple. If anyone can explain to me why these yogurts come with the paper on the inside of the pot, please go ahead. Feel free to share in the comments what your favourite cake recipe is and give us some new ideas. I add just a spoonful of peaches to the cake mix to begin with to give it a peachy flavour throughout, and then add the rest at the end. If you like, you can sprinkle the top with a little bit of brown sugar so that it's all crusty when it's cooked. Then it needs about 40 minutes in the oven at about 180 degrees. Hello? The first coat of varnish on the table was dry enough to have our Sunday goûter with the family. I think natural wood looks so much nicer than white paint. What do you think?
Voilà, ma amie arrête de filmer, elle adore ça.
C'est ça, il faut faire très bonne impression. Merci.
I need non.
Will be.
Ah oui.
Oh là là, la grammaire.
Grammaire compliquée quand même. Je sais pas comment on fait avec les anglais pour le français parce que la grammaire de français.
After months of preparation, we're finally getting a good crop of strawberries almost every day at the moment. I used to say to my husband, why all this effort to grow things ourselves when we can just pop to the farmer's market? And now I understand. The satisfaction is just so worth the trouble.
It is for you to get caught in the crossfire. Or for you to feel unwelcome here. It's our home and it's Jill's home.
I'm one of those people that needs to recharge their batteries by going off and doing something solitary, and for me that's painting. So I'll leave you with this that I've been working on, and let me know in the comments if you recognise this famous British couple. Those of you who've been following my channel for a while probably know that I'm a professional artist, and I have quite a lot of videos if you're interested in learning certain techniques. So I invite you to take a look at the playlist called Artist Tips and Tutorials. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe.